I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Legislators are calling for tougher penalties for people caught driving without a license. The current fine of just over $730 was already doubled last year, but it hasn't done much to curb the rate of incidents. More than 40,000 accidents involving drivers without a license have been recorded in the last 5 years. That's more than the number of incidents involving drunk drivers. One legislator has suggested introducing prison terms for offenders, pointing out the costs of the problem to society.
一个死亡是1600万的社会成本，受伤是880万。如果这样算起来的话，他们一再的违规的话，又是全民买单。
Taiwan has launched a new carbon credit project in a bid to achieve some of its carbon reduction goals. The tree planting project in Paraguay follows the launch of a similar mangrove restoration project in Myanmar last month. It's the first of its kind to be listed on Taiwan's carbon trading system, which allows polluting companies in Taiwan to buy so-called carbon credits to offset their CO2 emissions. It's being hailed in Taiwan as a viable path towards the country's goal of reaching net zero emissions by 2050. But offsets are widely criticized for allowing companies to pay to continue polluting. Indigenous communities in southeast Taiwan have been passing down traditional fishing practices for generations, but declining fish numbers are threatening their customs. Wesley Lewis looks at how these communities are fighting to preserve traditions by equipping their youth with cultural and environmental knowledge.
These teenagers in southeastern Taiwan are keeping a centuries-old fishing custom alive. Every July, 7 indigenous Amish communities in Taidong come together to hold a coming-of-age festival, where elders teach the next generation how to fish with traditional bamboo cages.
我们大人可以带小孩子看生态，给他们生态，又教他们。
But this year, they've struggled to catch any fish. The elders say they've seen a dip in the numbers of fish in the nearby Beinan River. That's why this year, the local government has hired conservationists to teach the teenagers about the area's ecology and the things that threaten it.
鱼类的一个捕捞，可能因为太过度了之后，然后导致了本身在我们现在卑南溪在鱼类的一个本身的一个数量种类上面呢，有一些相对的一个降低的情况。
The conservationists say it's important for young people to learn how to conserve the area's local fish and remove invasive species.
只有认识了在地的原生种跟外来种，他们以后在记忆或者是在猎捕的过程，才有办法去判断这件事情。
This year marks the 10th anniversary of the Joint Amish Coming of Age Festival, and it's the first time that matters of conservation have been part of the ceremony. The hope is that the next generation will not only be equipped with the skills to fish in the traditional way, but also know how to look after the local river ecosystem. John Su and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
Movie director Laha Meibo won the Golden Horse Award for Best Director in 2022, becoming the first indigenous woman to win the coveted prize for Chinese language cinema. Joyce Zeng reports on how her work showcases Atayal culture.
Back home, where it all began in this village, Taiwanese film director Laha Meibo, the first indigenous woman to win Best Director at the Golden Horse Awards, thinks back on her first movie, Finding Seiyun, which features scenes on this same street. She's from Ropway in northeastern Yilan County, a village local indigenous groups collectively now call the Jingyue community. Laha Meibo says she found herself in film by chance after failing her university entrance exams. She had her sister fill out her applications for her instead. She ended up in the film department at Taipei's Shixin University after working on sets with famed directors like Zhang Zuoji and Cai Mingliang. She says it was time to find her own story to tell and landed on an old village story of Seiyun's bell.
我当然听说这个故事，后来发现它跟我是多么的密切，因为这个被冲走的、被纪念的这个傻运，她就是我的表姑婆，然后我的奶奶也在这个事件中。
Bo wrote her first film about life for her people, the Atayal, under Japanese colonial rule of Taiwan. She then went on to explore other aspects of Atayal life, like the quirks of village elections in her 2022 film Gaga, a movie which won 5 Golden Horse Awards, the most prestigious film awards in Taiwan. Aside from a journey of self-discovery, Bo has fostered the talents of others through her creative endeavors, like actor Yukan Luzing, who started working with Bo at just 12 years old and has now traveled abroad with her on projects.
What stories do you want to be in? What do you want to do?
Bo's latest project stars Yukan Luzing in a short as part of the U.S. nonprofit Nia Terra Project, which brings together Indigenous creators from around the world.
我觉得其实对自己的文化，你有信心、跟自信、跟理解的时候，其实你对外你都是不会担心的。
Bo says she hopes her work can inspire Atayal youth and those from other communities and give Indigenous people their own cinematic voice. Kamashu and Joyce Zhen for TaiwanPlus.
China's one-child policy prevented hundreds of millions of births, while many children were abandoned or put up for adoption. Now those adopted children are trying to find their birth parents. Rosie Greninger reports.
Handing out flyers in Dianjiang, southwest China, a 19-year-old Lu Li searches for her biological parents. Abandoned shortly after being born in this rural town, Lu Li was adopted by a couple from the US. She believes her birth parents may have given her up, fearful of China's one-child policy that was in place from 1979 to 2016. It punished families for having additional children. Lu Li is among a growing number of young adults returning to China to understand their roots and track down lost family.
I'd want them to know that, I'm happy and healthy, and I'm grateful for the life that I'm living.
But hundreds of millions of others didn't get the chance to be born. China imposed the one-child policy to control its rapidly growing population and has been condemned for forcing abortions, contraception and sterilizations. This also drove up infanticide rates and permanently skewed China's ratio of men to women due to a cultural preference towards boy babies. The policy led to more than 82,000 Chinese-born children being adopted by American families, most of them girls. And as those children reach adulthood, the demand for reunions is high. This according to Lu Li's adoptive mother, who founded an organization to help Chinese adopted children reconnect with their birth families, which isn't always easy, given political tensions between the two countries.
If they want to find their roots, there's part of them, they're proud to be Chinese. They're proud where they come from. So I really wish the process would be facilitated a little more. And who knows, maybe in years it will, because it should be beyond politics. It's a matter of heart.
DNA samples are collected by the Roots for Love organization in China and the US. And if a pair is matched, the long-lost relatives will be put in touch. Because of the one-child policy, 57-year-old Yi Eng-ching put his infant daughter up for adoption in the 1990s. He faced penalties, including the demolition of his home, confiscated farm animals, and serious fines if he was found with more than one child. Now, through DNA technology, he hopes to reconnect. Although patchy records means finding a match is unlikely, there have been success stories. With the support of her adopted family, though equipped only with photos of herself as a baby, Lu Li hopes to be among those able to reunite with long-lost relatives. Patrick Chen and Rosie Greninger for TaiwanPlus.
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Finally, take a look at people in Nepal celebrating National Paddy Day, marking the start of the rice planting season. I'm Liao. Take care and see you next time.